The entertainment world lost a major talent this week. I mean, just an incredible artist. And that's Burt Bacharach. So I want to talk about Burt Bacharach. I have an article here at Breitbart for you. I'm just going to read some excerpts from this, couple of paragraphs. But Burt Bacharach created all these number one hits. Born in 1928, died Wednesday of natural causes. He was 94. Just to show you the impact that this guy had in the music world, not just in the music world, but in the entertainment world. He collaborated most closely with Dionne Warwick, worked with Hal David. Now, Dionne Warwick and Hal David had this disagreement or falling out with Burt Bacharach back in the day. They sued him, but then they later reconciled. But he wrote such hits as Walk On By, Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head, Do You Know the Way to San Jose? And even in the 2000s, he had songs that were being covered by people like Ashanti. And given all these accolades, he wrote the film score to Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and the 1967 spy spoof Casino Royale. He also wrote the song or collaborated on the song That's What Friends Are For. So as you can tell, he's a guy who crossed all these generational boundaries and just was an amazing talent. Now, this is a funny story. When he was growing up, he used a fake ID to get into jazz clubs to listen to people like Dizzy Gillespie and Count Basie. I'm a big Count Basie fan. I love Count Basie. One of Count Basie's great albums is Live at the Tivoli in Sweden. Wonderful. You got to pick up that album. Great album. And Count Basie isn't really known for his jazz, but he was a great jazz artist. It's almost like Nat King Cole. A lot of people don't know that Nat King Cole was a pretty good piano player, really good jazz piano player. So I thought I'd come here and talk about Burt Bacharach. Just an amazing talent. And he was given an award by President Obama back in 2012. So here are a couple of paragraphs from Breitbart. Welcome back to the channel, by the way. If I can just say this on a side, thank you for everybody who is starting to subscribe to the channel or additional subscribers. I'm in the process of trying to move over some videos from the other channel. It's the same channel, but because I had to change my phone or buy a new phone, and I've got a Chromebook, I had to add a new account. Yeah, it's a big hassle. Because for some reason with the Chromebooks, it's really difficult to get your old phone off of the Chromebook. So to create a new account and basically start from scratch, I'm going to be transferring some of those videos over time, so just bear with me, into my new version here, if you want to call it that, of the Cultural Confederacy. But it's still the same principle. We celebrate great art, music, history, and culture preservation, which is why I want to talk about Burt Bacharach. And he was one of those guys that was really in the background in a lot of ways. You know, he was, I don't want to say an afterthought, but he wasn't the first name that came to mind, but he was so influential in a lot of these number one hits, wrote a lot of these number one hits. So this is what it says here at Breitbart. In a flurry of accolades, 3 Oscars, including for the score of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, like I mentioned. An Emmy, 8 Grammy Awards, including a Lifetime Achievement Prize and 2 Golden Globes. And they mentioned his hit songs, as I told you, Walk On By, Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head, Do You Know the Way to San Jose? Great songs. Now, Bacharach enjoyed a long and fruitful partnership with Dionne Warwick, including on the 1985 Power collaboration, That's What Friends Are For. And he was married to Angie Dickinson, had his longest marriage with Carol Bayer Sager. I think he married her in 82 or something like that, and they divorced in 91. And then there's a quote here from, I believe, Dionne Warwick. It says, Burt's transition is like losing a family member. We laughed a lot and had our run-ins, but always found a way to let each other know our family, like roots, were the most important part of our relationship. Tributes poured in from everywhere from Kiss frontman Paul Stanley, to Beach Boys co-founder Brian Wilson, offering condolences and praise for Bacharach's signature optimism and effortless orchestration. Quote, a titan of beautiful and effortless songs, Smashing Pumpkins frontman Billy Corgan wrote on Twitter. So as you can tell, this guy influenced everybody in the music community, in the entertainment industry. But really sad to see such a great talent leave us. Burt Bacharach. Go out and check out his songs. You can find them here on YouTube. It says here, a pianist passionate about jazz, Bacharach was born on May 12, 1920 in Kansas City, Missouri, but moved to New York in his early years. As a teenager, he snuck into clubs to hear people like Dizzy Gillespie and Charlie Parker, Count Basie. Now, this is interesting to note, too, because to put things into perspective, he was born in 1928. Stravinsky's Rite of Spring was still a new novelty. This is the movement, or the era of the avant-garde movement. And he lived during the time of what I call the S composers, Sibelius, Shostakovich, Stravinsky. A lot of these composers were born in the latter part of the 19th century, lived well into the first part or middle part of the 20th century. Stravinsky died, I believe, in the 1970s. But interesting to note that Bacharach was born 7 years after the death of Camille Saint-Saëns, great French romantic composer. But he studied with Darius Milhaud, who was a well-known composer at that time. So that kind of gives you some perspective on his background, his training, who he associated with. In 1957, he met lyricist Hal David, with whom he would form one of the most successful partnerships in music history. A few years later, at a recording session with the Drifters, they would discover a young backup singer who would become their standard bearer, Dionne Warwick. Worked with Dusty Springfield. Songs like The Look of Love, What's New Pussycat, and The Carpenters' Close to You. It says here, the duo won 2 Oscars in 1970 for Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, Best Original Score, and Best Original Song for Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. So go check out these songs by Burt Bacharach. Great talent. He will be sorely missed. And a great example of what you can achieve if you put your mind to it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Another one-take type today. I'm going to start doing more of these one-take types. I think you guys like that. And I have to say thank you as well for your response to my video about Salty Cracker. Did Salty Cracker's channel get banned here on YouTube? Did he bow out on his own? So the response to that video has been overwhelming. Thank you for your support. And it's a pleasure to bring you these videos. Hope you all have a great weekend. This is the Culture Confederacy saying peace out. Stay safe, everybody. God bless this thing we call the United States. And you know how we do it here. This is where the past crashes with the present. See you next time.